She was just slow, but at that time, the doctors really weren't aware of a lot of stuff. They maybe knew it themselves, but they never thought of telling you.
Denny was born, really became a challenge to us. There was something wrong here because he wasn't developing in a way he should. That was when we were told to take your child home and hug him, make a nice home for him. And that was an answer that was unacceptable.
There was nothing. They ignored, they had nothing for handicapped people.
There's no user manual. There was no guide. We had no idea. What we decided to do was to try to find others that were in this, quote, same boat.
I didn't want her to grow up and be, not have friends. It ended up with 6 at that swimming pool. So that was the starting of what I did.
When I was 12 weeks pregnant, we found out that there was a 1 in 2 chance that our baby would have Down syndrome. Actually, it was quite, a few minutes after she was born, it struck me to ask, oh, does the baby have Down syndrome? And the doctor said, it appears to be so.
The first initial instinct is fear of the unknown. But the fear was kind of, it was kind of comforted by the fact that we were on the same page. We were fully dedicated to bring this baby into the world and give it the best life that we could.
What was that? Are you silly? We met with Kindering when Franny was about 6 weeks old, I think. And really from that point on, we've just been moving along, and they've been helping us every step of the way and recommending what next steps would be based on her development.
Thank you for helping.
So the way I describe it is Becky and I are in a dark room where we can't see, an inch in front of us. And the folks at Kindering are standing right next to us, but they're holding the lamp. It enlightened the way, and it shows the way when we were just involved with a lot of big questions at the time.
These are the 2 articles that appeared in the Bellevue American that were really responsible for getting this thing off the ground. It wasn't happening by itself. It wasn't ever going to happen by itself. Well, we're going to have to make something happen here. We need to challenge them to do something. And early intervention was not something that we knew anything about at that time. We wanted to have the kids learn to eat, but that was a pretty big jump in many cases. Well, all of a sudden there was, oh my God, Jerry is picking up a piece of cheese whiz or something, and he's doing it all by himself, and he ate it. And he went back and got another one. Oh my God. And she was crying. Those are very high events. It happened. These kids did it. They accomplished it on their own.
We've been with Kindering almost since Franny was born, doing physical therapy. It's really play-based therapy that you just incorporate to your time that you're having together. When Franny's eating or anything, just starting to teach her the signs so that she can recognize what they are and be able to communicate with us.
Do you want more? More? Good. I look at my sister now. I don't see any Down syndrome. I just see my little sister.
The first thing that comes to my mind is training wheels. You're wobbling back and forth, side to side, but you're not going to fall. Somebody's going to be there to catch you, or something is going to be there to catch you. And that's the feeling I get with the programs that and the support that we're getting with Kindering.
When we found out that I had a 1 in 2 chance of having a child with Down syndrome, people might say, why didn't you want to know? I didn't feel the need to know for sure because Down syndrome wasn't scary to me, and that's because my oldest brother has Down syndrome. He was born in the late 60s. The doctor came in and said, your child is a mongoloid and you can't take him home. It's so sad because I heard my parents were young and just thought, okay, the doctors who, at that time you didn't question, said you can't do this. So I didn't grow up with my brother. And when I see Isabella with Franny, I really think, wow, I missed out. And it's great that there are places like Kindering that exist now and to help keep families together, to give them the support that they need so that parents can keep their children and siblings can be together. We recently went home to Minnesota to visit my family, and we went to visit Kevin. It was just sweet and I guess bittersweet to see them together, because it just makes me realize what I didn't have, what I could have had.
My daughter's living in an adult family home. She likes where she's living, and just glad to have her. And she actually has made my life. Things I hadn't been involved in and accomplished through her. Now I can look around and see things I've done because of it.
So he went to the UW ROTC program by his senior year, was accepted, went through a cancer episode. He went on and graduated, commissioned 4 years later. He is now what the Navy calls their newest and latest baby admiral. It's outside the box, that this could have happened. There were so many minefields that he had to go through. And I think it's an extraordinary story that comes from the genesis of this school.
She's just a bright light, and she's magnetic, and she's awesome. She's incredible.
Oh, dinosaurs again? How about you read it to Mama this time?
Becky's got one descriptor for Franny that always sticks with me. She calls her a day maker.
What I say if someone says, oh, that's sad, or oh, they need patience, or oh, I'm sorry, I say, well, I'm not sorry. We're not sorry. She's perfect. We love her. She's the most adorable baby in the world.
Enormous pride, really.
Yes.
Because we have something here that is real, it's permanent, and it's growing.
I just feel so elated to have it being growing and keeping going, and such a wonderful thing to know you did something in this world that's going to be there when you're gone.
Kindering focuses not on what you can't do, but on what you can do.
People should support Kindering because they do such important work for so many children and families. It's crucial, really. Sometimes people ask me,
Good job.
what do they tell you Franny's going to be able to do? And I say, they don't. And that's one thing I really like about Kindering. No one's setting a limit for Franny. Sky's the limit for her, like with any kid. We're all going for it.